Hi, it's Betty back. This is our second part series of sewing. We're doing sewing right now for beginner sewers, people that don't have sewing machines and they want to do some basic sewing and they're not sure how, maybe a youth or a person that's never sewed before. So my husband here has this shirt. It's an old shirt, it's a work shirt, but he's got a button missing on the sleeve. And we have no other buttons that would match these buttons. Otherwise, if you go inside most shirts, you'll find on the bottom part, by the hem part, you'll find some buttons right there that you can use the buttons, and the manufacturer puts them there in case you lose your buttons, and so you have some extras. So there's two there. So what I do is I clean out this thread, make sure the thread is out, and then I'll find my sleeve here. So here's the sleeve that is missing a button. You notice in this sleeve there's two buttons so you can adjust to your width of your wrist. So here is where the second button is missing, right here. You want to match it up with that one, okay? So we take this button, but before we do that, last time when I showed you how to put the thread together, I didn't show you how to actually thread a needle. And I'll see how fast I can do it this time. Last time it worked really good. But we will see. Oh boy. Got it. Okay. My old eyesight isn't as good as it used to be when I was younger. So now in this case here, you can do two things. You can make it have the smaller strand single by itself, and then just make a knot on the bottom of the other one, and the longer one, that's what I'm going to do this time, just to show you there's two ways that you can use your thread. Okay, so I'm going to make a double knot here. And when you do your second knot, make sure that it's kind of aligned with the first knot, because if it's up too high or down too low, it's still not going to be a double knot because it won't be thick enough. So yeah, I've got it good here, like that now. So now I've got my long thread and my short thread. And make sure that your short thread doesn't fall out on you, because if you're not careful, that can happen if you're a beginner and haven't sewed before. So now I just check where the placement of where my button should be. And as you can see here, like this one here is like that. So I'm going to put this button around the same place. Pretty similar. Make a line up like that and about that far in, the same as the other. And then go down to the underside and put it through the hole. If I can find the hole. There we go. So then I pull it through till it catches the knot. Oops. And then you can see there's 4 holes here now. So I'm going to try to imitate what this one here has. I'm going to just go into that one there and make sure I have the. So then I just go in the same. Sometimes it takes a little bit of doing to find a hole, and you keep going back and forth in the first set of 2 holes. And then you go over to there's the other 2 holes on the other side over here. Sometimes the buttons just have 2 holes and this one has 4. And it's a little more difficult to find the little hole. So now I'm going to the other 2 holes and going back and forth in those 2 holes. I'll do that again. And I'll go back over to the first hole, do a couple more. You could stay in the first one and do it 4 times to begin with, but I just wanted to show you how you do it. So now I'm going to go back to the second 2 sets of holes and go back and forth there a couple times. 4 times on each side should be more than enough. So now you can see it's on there. So now he's going to have 2 sleeves that are matched right up, and so he's not going to have a worry about that it's too loose on him. So now on the back side here, I'll just cut this off because this is the thread that was when we first started here. I got caught up on the other. You know, that's the and now I want to tie a knot here so that it doesn't pull out and loosen up. So I'm just gonna, can you see how I'm twisting my thread around the needle? And then I put my needle inside the other thread here and in the material and push it through and pull it nice and tight. And if you're not sure that that's not good enough, do another one on the other side, especially for work shirts. Guys are pretty tough on their shirts. And I do it on the other side too. I make a double one. And cut it off. Cut this other one off when I first started. There, okay. And you have your buttonhole. You see your button sewed on, so it's all done. Okay, so that's our lesson on sewing a button. Sorry, I was a little awkward doing it this afternoon, but this is part 2 of our sewing series, and we're going to do part 3 where we're going to actually sew a hem on a pair of dress pants, and it'll be done a little differently than we did with the jeans. So see you again in a bit. Thanks for visiting the Vibank Library. Come back again. Bye bye.